Hi, and welcome to this Weekday Word. Our New Testament passage in the daily office today comes from Peter's first letter, beginning in the second chapter. In that chapter, he's talking about the need to grow in spiritual maturity. And in order to do that, what Peter talks about is our need to behave in a particular way and to learn particular things. So he begins with behavior. He says this, so put away all malice and all deceit and hypocrisy and envy and all slander. Put away. It's the kind of language used for clothing. Take off that kind of behavior. Don't wear it anymore. This is the negative side then of love. So Peter says in our dealings with other people, we are to put away malice, wanting to harm other people. And so many times we don't need to be all that overtly aggressive in order to harm somebody. We can do it through the way we talk to them or the way we talk about them. We can do it even under the guise of looking like nice people. So he says, put away malice and all deceit, trying to lead people to believe things that are not true, to mislead them, and hypocrisy. The word for hypocrisy is that of being a play actor. It's looking like one thing, but really being something else. And so in our dealings with one another, we are not to be duplicitous. We're not to look like one thing while underneath we're harboring envy or animosity towards people. And put away all slander, speaking poorly of people. And again, so many times in our culture, we speak poorly of people that we don't even know. Put people down without even knowing who they are or what they're actually about. All of these things, Peter is saying, are not expressions of love. We can't claim to love our neighbor if instead we are harboring malice and deceit and hypocrisy and envy toward others. And so we're to put off this behavior and instead put on the behavior of love, because love does not wish people malice but good, and is willing to work for whatever is good in their lives. And love is not hypocritical or deceitful. It is truth-telling and works for truth in other people's lives. And it's not envious. It rejoices when they have blessing in their lives. It's interesting then that Peter says we are to grow not by stopping sinning in our own lives, although he does, along with the rest of the Bible, say that we need to do that. But he really points towards the fact that we need to grow by treating one another with love, and that the act of loving our neighbor actually is part of how we grow in spiritual maturity, because it makes us more and more like Jesus. And we are also then, he says, like newborn infants, to crave or long for pure spiritual milk. And as Peter unfolds that in his writing, it's clear that what he has in mind is God's word. We're to long for that like a newborn that wants to be fed. And that's a beautiful image. We're not to long for it in some mild way. We're to crave it so much that we cry for it. We're to crave it so much that we cannot wait to feast upon God's word. And that helps us grow then in our knowledge and love of the Lord. And so there it is. Our love of the Lord leads us to long for his word, and our love of the Lord leads to love of neighbor as we put off evil behavior and live instead with love for one another. I pray this day, friends, that you are blessed and that you long for God's pure spiritual word so that you may know and love him more deeply and manifest that love toward one another as you seek the best in their lives. Be blessed this day, and I look forward to seeing you soon.